Welcome to the University of Strathclyde on this very special day. Today we mark the hard work and perseverance of our graduands. And they are graduands because until they've crossed this stage and I've capped them, they are not yet graduates. But the minute that I cap them, they become graduates of the university and join a long line of very distinguished people who have crossed this stage and indeed in previous years other stages. And it's really a great day because A, we've got the weather, which is nice, because my colleagues will probably remember a few days where we had to run because of the rain, but also because we have an honorary graduate today, Miss Irene Oldfather, who we are honoring with a doctorate of the university. So please enjoy yourself. This is a great place to be in. When your loved one crosses the stage, be as loud as you want to be. It's been a little bit lackluster in a few of the others. So let's see what the humanities and social sciences families can do. Enjoy yourselves. After the ceremony, we will leave the hall and go up to the Learning and Teaching building for some well-earned refreshment. So it's with great pleasure that I declare this congregation open, and I invite Professor Mags Watson to introduce our honorary graduand.
Executive Dean, I have the honour to present to you Irene Oldfather, MSc. Irene graduated with an honours and master's degree in politics from the University of Strathclyde. She was the first in her generation to attend university, and her early days in political research took her to the US and included the West Wing and then teaching at the University of Arizona. On returning to the UK, Irene held multiple substantial political roles. These included serving her country for 12 years as one of the inaugural women members of Scottish Parliament, as well as being a member of the European Committee of the Regions for 15 years. As an MSP, she served on both the Europe and Health Committees, subjects with which she has had sustained and effective involvement. Irene established and chairs the Scottish Advisory Forum on Europe, with participation across social partners including academia, third sector and business, the purpose of which is to enable a strong voice for civil society. Irene has been a staunch, consistent and effective advocate for older people, people with dementia, carers, as well as other underserved communities. She has made sustained and substantial contributions to address health inequalities. She established the Scottish Parliament's cross-party group on Alzheimer's and dementia and produced the Charter of Rights for People with Alzheimer's and their carers, which is now part of the Scottish Government Dementia Strategy. Her contributions led to her previous shortlisting for a Dodds Parliamentary Award for services to older people, as well as last year's nomination in Parliament for a Leadership Award in the Scottish Public Service. Irene has held her current role as the Director of Strategic Partnerships, External Affairs and Engagement with Health and Social Care Alliance Scotland for 12 years. This is a national organisation with a vision of a Scotland where everyone has a strong voice and enjoys their right to live well with dignity and respect. She is also the chair of EUPATI, which is the European Patient Academy on Therapeutic Innovation, and she is vice chair of the Scottish Ambulance Service Board and the UK Domestic Advisory Group on Trade and Cooperation Agreement with Europe. Irene reflects the Strathclyde ethos of being people-orientated, collaborative and bold, and has provided strong and responsible leadership throughout her career and her many roles. Executive Dean, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure we can all appreciate we are in the presence of a very special individual. It is with great pleasure, therefore, Executive Dean, that with the authority of Senate, I ask you to confer upon Irene Oldfather the degree of Doctor of the University, honoris causa.
Eileen, it's with great pleasure that I award you the degree of Doctor of the University, honoris causa. Welcome back to the Strathclyde family.
Thank you so much. Executive Dean, Professor Watson, honoured guests and graduates, thank you so much for that very warm welcome and those very kind words. It's difficult to express to all of you just how much this honorary doctorate means to me. And in particular, bestowed by this amazing institution, which I have to tell you has played such a significant part in my career to date. Alongside my family, this university, and I suppose blind determination, were the greatest influences on who I am. And so I express my deepest appreciation, support for all that you've given me, for the skills, the platform, and the confidence that this university has bestowed. And thanks to someone who can't be here today, my dissertation supervisor, Professor Richard Rose, from many years ago. And Professor Rose is now 91 and still a member of the university here. And he can't be with us today, not because he's at home watching TV or something like that, but at 91 he's off in Lisbon delivering a conference speech there and sends his sincere apologies. It would have been lovely to have had him. But, you know, that is the determination and the resilience that I believe this institution nurtures and, quite frankly, made me the person that I am. So to my fellow graduates, soon-to-be graduates, I tell you that not only have you earned your place here today, but I hope that you will use this as a platform, a springboard to great things, because going forward from today, with will and ambition, there is nothing that you cannot do. Believe in yourself. That's not to say that you won't experience challenges or disappointments along the way, or even life experiences that are hard, but it's what you do with them that's important. Remember that even rejection can be a way of rethinking, reformatting a plan or an idea. See everything as an opportunity. Pick yourself back up and be confident. And if I tell you that I came from a very ordinary background, though my parents were extraordinary people. My mum was a school dinner lady and my dad worked for ICI, but alongside my gran, they had a deep appreciation of the benefits of education and instilled in me the importance of learning and believing in yourself. My grandmother used to say, climb the ladder of success. And I leave that thought with you today. When I did my undergraduate at Strathclyde, looking back, I realised actually, and my kids laugh at this, but I was really a little bit of a geek. I was happy in the library, and probably more happy in the library than I was in the student union. But actually, for me, I was so grateful for the opportunity, that opportunity of useful learning, that motto of this great institution, that I did not want to waste 1 minute of it. So you don't have to be the cleverest in the class, but you do have to work as hard as you can. And I think that's a philosophy that has carried me through my entire career. And just remember, it's not where you come from that determines your success. It's where you're going to and your plan for getting there. And education is a great escalator of that. And just a couple of reflections to share with you. I mean, I do remember, and Professor Watson mentioned it, I was I was working in the White House with Professor Rose, actually, and I'd been called to do an interview on my own with one of the president's advisors. And I remember sitting in the West Wing in the Roosevelt room with a cup of coffee with the presidential seal and thinking, how did I get here? And again, this place was a great platform to other things. And of course, at the opening of the first Scottish Parliament in 300 years, raising my hand in Parliament to take the oath and thinking again that this is where I came from and that's why I'm here. And I think that one of the greatest privileges was to propose a debate in Parliament to agree a Charter of Rights for people with dementia and their carers, to which every party in Parliament signed up to. And I didn't have to ask myself at that time, what am I doing here? Because I was there from a strong sense of purpose that came from a hard place where my mum had Alzheimer's. And with all the skills that I had, as a carer, I was lost in the system. And I knew that things had to change, things had to get better for older people and for people with dementia. So ensuring that people with dementia had rights and were respected was part of my mum's amazing legacy. So use those sometimes difficult life experiences to do something good. As new graduates, you hold the power to shape the world around you. This institution has equipped you to make a positive impact on your chosen fields. Carry the values of determination, integrity, curiosity with you in those respective careers. Which brings me to a point about kindness, care, compassion, and family. Never lose sight of who you are. Life is shorter than you think. Cherish the people around you and the love stories that brings with your family and with your friends. And many of you are here today with amazing families or friends who have supported you to arrive at this place. Value them. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank my own family, my husband, my son, my daughter, who are here with me today, who have supported me through everything that I've done, and quite frankly, I couldn't have done it without you. So to the families here today, I can tell you from my very own experience that your unwavering support has been instrumental to what has been achieved by our graduates today. So let us together today celebrate learning and achievement and remember determination matters. I wish each of you well in whatever you do. I hope that you climb the ladder of success, as my grandmother would say. May your future bring success, happiness, and fulfillment. And every day in every small way, you have the capacity to do something and to do something good. And hold tight, as I will, to the memory of today that you are part of a family, the family of Strathclyde graduates. And so in conclusion, my postgraduate thesis was about presidential publicity, and I studied a lot of speeches of John F. Kennedy. And I was always moved by the fact that he said, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. And John Smith, leader of the Labour Party, who died before he could become Prime Minister, said the night before he died, the privilege to serve, that is what we ask. And President Obama, don't wait for some other person or some other time. We are the change. Take inspiration from those great leaders. Following the footsteps of these giants, we can be the change. Thank you for all that you've bestowed on me today. And remember that caring for and giving a voice to those in society less fortunate than us is a privilege. Please go out and embrace it. Thank you for this amazing honour and for allowing me to be here today with all of you. I will always hold it in my heart and cherish it. Thank you very much.
Department of Government and Public Policy, Professor Anthony McGann, to introduce our graduands.
Associate Principal and Executive Dean, in the name of the University and by authority of Senate, I present to you these students. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in European Public Policy, Alina Dragos. For the degree of Master of Science in International Relations, Nana Kwabena Yebi Apia. Farouk Adeleke Bello. Alfred Echenola Chukwu Nonyelam. Jennifer Chijinma Nuzi. Xavier Aqua Ose. In Public Policy, Kaylin Mickey. Libby Scott. Jacob Albert Tengrouse Strauss. Finn William Wallace. In Criminology and Social Policy, Adebayo Jeremiah Adelukunle. Pearl Paul de Souza. Olufemi Adiolo Omiranti. Bolawatiwi Setogwipozu. Madiha Nazir Said. In International Social Welfare, Oluwakemisola Elizabeth Abe. Oyaronke Winifred Oladiran. For the degree of Master of Social Work, Jennifer O'Brien. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Economics and Politics and International Relations, Marshall Smith. In Humanities and Social Sciences with International Study, Ola Catherine Doonin. In Politics and International Relations, Eve Alexander. Elizabeth Elaine Allen. Ben Allen. Lauren May Astley. Ghulam Mohammed Beg. Cameron Baird. Sophie Louise Lindsay Black. Luke Bradley. Ryan Brown. Shaylee Brown. Danielle Bryson, Keith Mark James Burns, Phoebe Costello, Shannon Jenny Curry, Tilly Frances Mary Davis, James Alfred Doherty, Caris Victoria Ashley, Fergus William Glenn, Millie Grassom, Caitlin Karaka-Jack, Courtney Hamilton Kemp, Callum Ross Carr, Evan King, Rachel Knox, Victoria Kowalczyk, Connor Lenahan, Genevieve Elizabeth Linden, Jack MacDonald, Ross James Mason, James MacDonald, Scott McGinley, Anna Mean, Ailey Miller, James David Montgomery, James Neville, Cameron Newport, Amna Nisa, Lewis John Park, Kirsty Eleanor Ross, Robbie David Shaw, Lewis Smith, Lucy-Ann Elizabeth Smith, Rachel Thompson, Rachel Finlayson Todd, Andrew Stephen Adam Watson, Brody Jack Watson Massey, Holly Ann Weir, Kieran Wells, Stanley Robert Whitmore, In politics and international relations and economics, Emma Mary Blackhall. Solomon Josiah Wood. In politics and international relations and history, Holly Jane Cannon. Kira Kavanagh. Holly Hanlon. Kieran Mannion. Ben McGarry. Scott William Reeves. In politics and international relations and journalism, media and communications, Jamie Lawson. Joel McNamara. In politics and international relations and law with international study, Ewan Liam Morrell. In politics and international relations and social policy, Quinn DeMyers Barnes. Amy Victoria Begg. Katie Elizabeth Ann Gavianis Tweedley. Ross Andrew Hemphill. Christopher Patterson. In politics and international relations and Spanish with international study, Katie Mullen. In politics and international relations with history, Rasheen Ann Barton. In politics and international relations with international study, Finn McKinnon Allen. Aidan Barlow. Donald Thomas Bathgate. Louis Adam Gibson. Louise Leckie. Ailey Nicholson. Carla O'Donnell. Ellie Louise Rennie. Aisha Sawa. Laurie Weaver. In politics and international relations with journalism, media and communications with international study, Ella McGregor. In politics and international relations with social policy, Rashid Sultan Ali Obaid Almeri. Kai David Douglas. In Education and Social Services, Jessica Josefa Acosta Green, Carly Ann Burns, Michelle Cummings, Katie Margaret Duffner, Caitlin Harrison, Chelsea Ann Heron-Hume, Irim Jamil, Carolyn Eleanor Kay, Joy Siobhan Kemp, Amanda Langford, Ivana Marshall, Jack Lewis McAvoy, Stephanie McGlinchey, Amy McGowan, Emma Jane McKeshney, Caitlin Maria Mount, Isabel Nascimento, Chloe O'Hare, Paulina Carolina Oleksik, Nicole Margaret Robertson, Susanna Pauline Rose, Carly Brogan Salmon, Kalyan Studers, Catherine Taylor, Sophie Jane Tees, Christine Sarah Watt. In social policy and English and creative writing, Robin Darcy Elder. In social policy and history, Holly Gallagher. Jessica Hollinger. In social policy and human resource management, Rebecca Smith. In social policy and journalism, media and communications with international study, Charlotte O'Hare. In social policy and law, Kelly Ann Daniels. Erin Louise McLaughlin. In social policy and politics and international relations, Rory Arif. Michael Campbell. Brooke Grace Easton. Thomas Archie Reed. In social policy and written Spanish with international study, Millie Christina Stirat. In social work, Cheryl Bentley. Sophie Vivienne Brownlee. Morgan Campbell. Tammy Elizabeth Wallace Cleland. Mia Jane Crawford. Susan Doherty. Romy Donald. Chloe Catherine Duff. Morgan Chloe Eaton. Charlene Foster. Demi Gardner. Erin Gillen. Stephanie Haddo. Carla Herbert. Gemma Irons. Alexandra Irena Yavishok. Crystal Kennedy. Estelle Maquero. Gemma McCarthy. Claire MacDonald. Gemma Elizabeth Sarah McKenna. Jade Morrison. Caroline Mary Murray. Darren Newell. Ogbe David Oriochi. Erin Friel Patterson. Leah Ann Pugh. Jennifer Robertson. Lauren Robinson. William Andrew Thomas Russell. Jessica Sharp. Ali Louise Shaw Smith. Tracy Christina Stockman. Jenna Thompson. Nicole Watson. For the degree of Masters of Science in International Social Welfare, Sharon Obioma James Ogunji. For the degree of Masters of Science in International Relations, Walter Izuchukwu Ibaneme. For the degree of Postgraduate Diploma in Public Policy, Emmanuel Okeheni Adiku.
I don't know about you, but it's very warm in here, isn't it? So first of all, let me once again extend a warm welcome to you all on this special day, a day that marks the culmination of hard work and dedication for our graduates. So let us offer a heartfelt congratulations to the class of 2024. All of our graduates have shown great commitment, resilience, adaptability, and determination to arrive at this day. You, our graduates, are graduating in a special year for the university. It is our Diamond Jubilee, marking 60 years since the award of our Royal Charter by the late Queen Elizabeth II. And this conferred university status on our institution. It was the first university to be established in Scotland for over 400 years and the UK's first technological university. For those of you graduating in the presence of your loved ones, this is a moment of great pride for them. Your family, friends, and supporters have undoubtedly played a crucial role in your journey. So graduates, let's take a moment to acknowledge and applaud your family, friends, and supporters. For our dedicated staff, many of whom are here today, they've worked tirelessly to provide you with an exceptional education and student experience, and a graduation you will never forget. Your success reflects their commitment. So graduates, let's take a moment to show our gratitude and appreciation to my colleagues. Once this ceremony has concluded, we will leave the hall in academic procession. It will be the academic party first, followed by our graduates, and then we would ask the family and friends to join at the end, and we will all meet in the Learning and Teaching building for refreshment. The academic procession is a very important part of our process because it signifies that our graduates are joining a worldwide community of 200,000 graduates from the University of Strathclyde. In fact, now it's 210,000. We have a long, long tradition. We were founded in 1796, and we have graduates such as David Livingstone, John Logie Baird, Dame Eilish Angelini, and Baroness Annabel Goldie, and of course the entrepreneur Sir Tom Hunter, who you might hear on the radio occasionally. But we've also got contemporary leading figures who are more recent graduates, such as John Gianandrea, who is now Senior Vice President of Machine Learning and AI Strategy at Apple, and Dr. Pauline Burke, who is Head of Data Science, Siri Assistant, and Diction, also at Apple. And I'm sure we're all using Siri and whatever else quite often. We also have among our graduates Andy Roxburgh, OBE, former Scotland men's football team manager and now the technical director of the Asian Football Confederation, and Dr. Leslie Stretch, former president and CEO of the software services company Medallia. Our university was founded, as I said, in 1796 during the Scottish Enlightenment through a bequest of Professor John Anderson, who, believing in knowledge was for the greater good, wished to establish a place of useful learning. We have remained faithful to our founding principle, which continues to guide us today. We are a research-intensive and scholarship-driven university, committed to creating new knowledge and understanding to tackle the challenges of our times. Through groundbreaking research, we are contributing to a better world. Indeed, in the Research Excellence Framework, which is the government's, and that's the UK government's, means of assessing research quality, almost 90% of Strathclyde's research was assessed as world-leading or internationally excellent. Within our own faculty, politics was rated #1 in the UK based upon its performance in the REF by the Times Higher Education. The university also has the second highest impact quality profile in Scotland, demonstrating the effect our research has on our everyday lives in the real world. Our research and our impact is wide-ranging. We are developing innovative technologies that will facilitate the transition from fossil fuels to clean, sustainable energy sources, such as wind, solar, and hydrogen. We're developing new drugs using new digital manufacturing processes. We're fighting cancer, kidney disease, and inflammatory disease. And we recognize that our health services need to change to meet the needs of the 21st century. The humanities and social sciences are pivotal and integral to this research. We can create, influence, and challenge policy, address political attitudes, build cleaner cities by understanding how people live and work in them, and build a healthier and social care system that works for all. Through initiatives such as Strathclyde Inspire, we're helping students and staff create new businesses. We're leading the revitalisation of this part of the city through the Glasgow City Innovation District. In the near future, we'll be creating another innovation centre named in honour of one of our most successful alumni, businessman Dr. Charles Hwang, who donated 50 million to the Strathclyde, an extremely generous gift. 30 million of this gift will be used to transform the former Students' Union, and Irene might remember the odd night in there, to become a new technology and innovation centre. But a key feature of this new centre is the creation of a social innovation cluster to understand how human, social, political, economic and cultural implications of advances in social science and technology actually work. Through our Centre for Sustainable Development, our globally minded staff and students are working to co-create solutions with global partners across academia, civil society, and the public and private sectors to secure real-world impact and to tackle the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Indeed, earlier this month, the Times Higher Education Impact Rankings of 2024 placed Strathclyde as joint 25th in the world, and that's out of approximately 2,000 universities. In pursuing our vision, we understand the value of successfully working in partnership with businesses, enterprises, and civil society. As a university, we're continually working to enhance our student experience, investing in our campus, and building things such as the Strathclyde Sport Building and the Learning and Teaching Centre, which we will repair to in a moment. Our progress and efforts in all of these areas have been greatly recognised in recent years with a host of awards. There are too many to mention, but I'll give you a quick sample. We are the only university to win Times Higher Education University of the Year twice. We've also won awards such as Business School of the Year, Workplace of the Year, and Research Project of the Year. We were, in 2024, named Scottish University of the Year and runner-up as UK University of the Year. And we also won our 4th Queen's Anniversary Award for research in photonics. These awards reflect the quality and breadth of activities across the university. But within the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences, we have much to celebrate. Our law clinic, which is now 20 years old, has helped over 6,000 people and won or saved over £2 million for our clients. The clinic has won several awards in that time, the most recent being the Herald Law Awards of Scotland Pro Bono Award in 2023. Within the Department of Social Work and Social Policy, Dr. Sarah Golightly met with a host of US senators in Washington, D.C. to share findings from her research on harmful institutional practices in US troubled teen treatment facilities. And that's quite difficult to say. Speaking alongside advocacy groups, activists, and celebrities such as Paris Hilton, Sarah continues to push for legislative reforms that promote greater protections for youth and enhance oversight of private residential treatment programs. Under Professor Kat Smith's leadership, the Centre for Health Policy has had several large grant successes this year. It's co-leading a £1.2 million policy research unit for tackling health inequalities in Scotland, funded by the Health Foundation. The Centre is also leading a new Chief Scientist's Office £1 million 5-year applied health research programme exploring the relationship between health and justice in Scotland. Within the Department of Government and Public Policy, Professor Sir John Curtis is once again a regular on our TVs, providing incisive and academically rigorous analysis of public opinion in the build-up to the general election. Dr. Ben Cormier recently published his book with Oxford University Press entitled How Governments Borrow, which explores why many governments in developing countries choose high-cost loans when cheaper finance is available. Finally, Dr. Gabriela Bors won the EU funding to work with colleagues in Romania to explore digital campaigning, and Dr. Despina Alexidou began a project focusing on how political choices we make increase inequalities. These are just a small sample of the wide-ranging activities and successes our university and our faculty have achieved in the last year. And today we look forward to a new chapter in the lives of our graduates. As you forge your new careers, the university values of being people-oriented, innovative, collaborative, ambitious, and bold will stand you in good stead. In recent years, the world has been shaken by coronavirus, armed conflict, and of course we face the greatest challenge of all, the climate emergency. Our graduates are the future leaders of our society.
You have a responsibility to use your talents and your education to make a positive impact on the world. Whether you go on to pursue careers in business, science, engineering, politics, or any other field, remember that you have the power to effect change, to inspire others, and to shape the course of history. Integrity, humility, and empathy are the qualities that will set you apart as you navigate the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. We hope that you will carry with you the spirit of Strathclyde, a spirit of innovation, collaboration, and excellence, where freedom of thought is encouraged and valued, as is inclusivity. So it's with immense pride that we see you graduate today, and though you may be leaving us, we hope that you will stay in touch. In conclusion, allow me to congratulate you, our graduates, once again on this momentous achievement. My colleagues and I have no doubt that you will make us proud. I wish you every success for the future. Thank you.
So that brings us to the end of this ceremony. As I said before, we will process out in a moment the academic party, followed by our graduates, and then families and friends. It's up the hill, just follow the piper. So it's with great pleasure that I declare this congregation closed, and I ask you to stand whilst the congregation leaves.